How did you know that he or she was the one?
Go ahead.
Well, I knew he was the one because he's a man after God's own heart. Like, truthfully, when he came into my life, it wasn't forced. Because when we met each other, we weren't feeling each other like that. Like, yes, we thought each other were attractive.
Right.
But I
We
wasn't.
didn't see each other.
I wasn't stay him.
She has to keep saying it like that, but it's all good.
But
She caught my attention, but I still didn't see her like, oh yeah, that's my, like, I didn't know for sure, like, oh yeah, that's my girlfriend or that's my wife. You know, I just, you know, it was something about it. It was something different. You know what I mean?
the more we worked together, we you know, we met being in the same corporate band, but the more we worked together, the closer we got, the more he made me laugh. And then like the first week we didn't have a gig, I'm like, well, doggone, like I miss him. I called him to let him know I missed him. I'm like, Lord, why am I doing this? I don't even know this man like this.
But when she called, I remember I was sitting at my kitchen table, and because it was a week, you know, we didn't have no gig, and she called, she was like, I miss you, and I'm like, you know what, I miss you too.
He definitely did.
Yeah, because I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna.
He wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it because I didn't, you know, I'm not like thirsty, and I didn't want to push her away, or I didn't want her to think like, you know, I didn't know what she was feeling, so I was just like, you know. And so when she brought it out, it was just like, oh, well, okay, feelings mutual. You know, it's like, okay,
So I was the bold one. I spoke up first.
Yeah, which is fine. You know? Yeah, I just didn't want to, you know, weird her out and nothing like that, or I'm just conscious of that type of stuff, you know. So when she said that, it was just like, okay, that's dope, because I was really, you know, I was missing her too, and then, yeah, it just kind of, that became the you know, a thing. It's like, okay, it's something there, it's interesting, it's like, wow, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just, I don't know.
So we were friends for 5.5 months before he asked me on our first official date.
For sure.
And he didn't actually say, will you go out with me? He was like, yeah, so what you doing on this date? And I'm like, nothing. I get off work at this time. He's like, okay, so I have a show. You know, I would like for you to come. I'll get your ticket and food. And I'm like, wait, are you asking me on a date? Like, he didn't just straight out just say it. He's like, well, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, you know, I'll go.
She was happy. She was excited. We were backstage, like, waiting to start our show, dressed, you know, and it just, you know, it was just like, I was charging my phone. She was, you know, it was just, we know how we do before a show. You just kind of, you know, and I was just, it was God for sure that put that on my heart, because it's like, I'm not a traditional dater, as, you know, the society, in terms of you just like go out on dates with you know, a lot of people and see what you like, and then you determine. Right. I'm just a little different, you know what I mean? Because I don't like a lot of people in my space when it comes to, it's like, it's hard for me to go out to dinner with this girl one day, and then this girl another day, and then this girl another day, and then movies with this girl, and then it's too much going on. That's just, I like to build one person and we just grow organically. So yeah, so I you know, that's literally what happened, and I just felt something like I want her to be in my show. Like, I want, you know, this will be a good show for her to enjoy, and
it was amazing because he didn't know. His show was at the City Winery. For those who don't know, it's at Ponce City Market. Beautiful venue, beautiful space. So I was excited. So I got there 2 hours early. As requested by Mr. Christopher.
Well, because, you know, the doors open at a certain time, and, you know, she had all the details. I didn't expect her to be there, like, you know, when she, like, I didn't expect, you know, I was just like, okay, I know the doors open at this time, but
he told me to get there at 6.
No, because I just, you know, I didn't know if they were, you know, I just didn't know how things were gonna flow. You know, I've never invited anybody to, you know, a show, so I didn't know, you know, I just didn't want her to be.
To be honest, I thought you asked me to come early just for the purpose of us. It was a date, but during our time, you would be on stage, right? So we enjoyed a glass of wine, enjoyed dinner, great conversation. We laughed all before he had to actually get on stage. Mind you, we're in the same corporate band. When we're on stage, I never actually get to watch him in his element. I'm on stage in front of him singing. Sometimes, you know, I turn back around, look, like, hey, boy, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even
and
about
I look
that.
at her. We always kind of
checking on each other, like during the show, yes. But at this moment, I got to actually watch him in his element. He killed it. Like,
and out of all fairness too, just to clarify with the 6 o'clock thing, our call time was 5:30. That's what time the artist wanted us to be, back at the theater. Back at the venue, and ready to, get dressed. And so it was just like I was in work mode. So it was just like she was there at 6, and I'm just like, I got there, dressed, changed. I had a quick second to run out, and because I had to go see her before the show, I was like, let me make sure she's good, taken care of, all that stuff, because we in work mode. And when I walked from backstage to come greet her, I was just like, in my head at that moment, I'm like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. Like, wow, that's literally what I was thinking. I was just like, oh yeah, okay. It was just, it was a feeling. It wasn't anything emotional. It wasn't anything physical or nothing. It was just like something that came over me. Like, wow, she looked amazing. She was such a lady.
Thanks, babe.
Such a lady, like a lady. You know what I mean? I like girly girls. Like, I like that. That's just, and she was just such a lady. So, it was just cool. We sat, talked, like she said, had a glass of wine. And, then it was time for me to go backstage and, get ready to take my, position for the show.
It was good food. It was a great show, great atmosphere. Everything about that night was amazing. It was really good.
Yeah, it was good. She motivated me to play a lot. It was just knowing that she was in the room. It's like, I want to give her a good show. I'm giving the people a good show, but I want to give her a good show. It's like, I want to do my job, stay out of the way, but I want to make sure that she gets, that experience.
I think I lost my voice that night because anyone who knows me, I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm there for you. I was screaming on top of my lungs.
She was posting me on Instagram. She was doing all these things. That was the other part about it was, it was different from what I've been accustomed to in the past. Just the support level. Like, she supports me like no one has ever supported me ever in life. I'm just used to being in my bubble, drummer, go to my gigs, go home, and then it's just like, that's it. You know what I mean? Not used to it. So to see her posting me, tagging me, it was unreal. It was unreal, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And the most important thing, matter of fact, no, I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay.
Because I'm,
Okay.
Because we kind of are piggybacking, but I knew she was the one. Back up, because I knew she was the one because she was a woman of God. She loved God first, and that right there is a deal breaker for me. That's number one. I don't care how fine you are. I don't care what it is, how well you sing. I don't care about none of that. If you don't love God, it's kind of like, we just friends. We just friends. I ain't looking at you on that level. You know what I mean? Because we can't see eye to eye on a lot of different things. You know what I mean? So we had a lot of discussions on the bus, and just about God and about where we want to be in our walk with God, and just the seriousness of it. And it was just like, oh yeah, boy, this is my speed right here. This is this is it. And to top it off, she was talented. It's like God gave me the perfect person. What you would consider. We know nobody's perfect, but considered perfect. Love God. She was my type. You know what I mean? And I've never been like, I never discriminate. Like, I like all women, but my ideal, she just fit everything. It was just like, wow. You know what I mean? Physically, just the whole 9 yards. Just everything. Everything. Just I have no. It was nothing that was just like, oh nah. Or it was nothing about her that was just like, I don't know about that.
No red flags.
No red flags. My deal breakers, she had none of them. 0. And that's a key. You know what I mean? She comes from 2 amazing parents, which is very important, because I feel like that determines, just kind of like, who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Some people are an exception to the rule, but coming from two great parents who are, believers, serious believers, it's like they imparted those things, into her. You know what I mean? And I saw those things. She has a father that loves her, and it was just I saw all that stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is great, And the whole time I was, laughing. I'm like, God, you're funny. Because
right, God is funny.
He waited until we got out of the way.
Right.
He waited until we got out of our own way.
Right.
All up until now, because we are natural lovers, we are natural, nurturers, we're relationship people and all this good stuff.
And
so
people
we
take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Or
we
they
find ourselves
us.
creating our relationship or creating, okay, if I do this, if I treat her a certain kind of way, then maybe she'll love me the way I need to obey. Nah, that's not it. It's like God is the only person that has the perfect love. He's the only person that knows what that perfect love is, and he's the only one that can give that to us. So we were trying to create that perfect ideal love on our own. It just wasn't happening, So that brought us all our failed relationships, and it was life lessons, that we learned from all those relationships. And it's just like he just had us, on a maze that just ended with, it just brought us to each other. It's like, here's a man and a woman who are after the same thing. Let me go ahead and bring them together.
Man,
you know what I mean? And that's what he did.
Good.
That's what he did. He brought us together.
And for me, I'm like, if you're a man who loves God first, you can make me laugh, you know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Something about him, he's never belittled me or made me feel stupid for being so vibrant and loud and loving life and goofy. And in my past, I've always been told, you're embarrassing me, or you're doing too much, or you're extra. This man told me, baby, you're not too anything. You're perfect. And it's like, okay, God, I hear you.
Yeah. And that right there is it's a word called capacity. Everybody doesn't have the capacity to, handle everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just is what it is. I mean, if you have a bottle that has 2 cups of water in it, and then you take 1 cup, if you pour that bottle out, that cup is going to overflow. Because that cup only has the capacity to hold 1 cup of water. It don't have the capacity to hold 2 cups of water. You know what I mean? So it's gonna overflow. It's gonna spill. It ain't gonna. That's all it is. You know what I mean? So it's just like I, had the capacity to, handle and understand who she is. Because I'm an arts kid myself as well.
I was about to say that we came from the same. We had the same likes.
Same.
Without knowing him, I've only been in Atlanta for 6 years. He's been here a long time.
Yeah.
To know that, people write down their goals, their dreams, their aspirations for their own life. Everything in my book, in my goals, but I call mine the dream and action plan. I have a dream and action plan based off everything I want to do. Everything matches everything in his book.
In my book that I had.
Everything.
When I
There's
showed
nothing
her my
missing.
Book, it was like, wow.
And then we look at each other like, this is kind of creepy, but no, that's...
When it comes to philanthropy, when it comes to businesses,
business locations,
family
homes,
goals,
children, everything. Like
it was just aligned. Everything was aligned, which that's just that's true partnership. It's like we know now we can build this thing together. You know what I mean? Because we both.
And yes, it's true. Nothing is perfect. Everything takes work. And you look at this. You have me. You have him. The closer we get to God, the closer we get to each other.
Yeah.
So you got to keep God in the midst, in the center of everything that you're dealing with within your relationship. You'll go through some things, but you will survive.
Yeah.
And you will succeed.
Yeah, nothing will be too much to handle.
Right.
Like, nothing will be too much to handle. It won't break your relationship or break your bond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because God sees all. He knows that you're going to go through this. He knows my personality. He knows her personality. He knows, when they get to this juncture right here, they gonna fall out about this because he's this and she's this, but they gonna be all right because I'm in control of this. So, you know what I mean? It's like that's how God just sees it all.
God is good. God
he
is
sees
funny.
it before, and then that's to talk about that is just kind of like with us, we don't stay mad long. That's a key to marriage right there.
No argument lasts longer than 10 minutes, y'all. Like, he'll let me pout, because I will pout. But we communicate about everything. And then it's over like as if it never happened. Yeah. Because we communicate, we talk about it. Yeah. And it's over. Yeah. But we both do that with each other. So that's a key component.
And that's a respect thing. Yeah. When you respect each other, it's like we actually compete loving each other. It's kind of weird.
We compete to make each other comfortable. One will compromise, but the other one's like, no, I want to compromise, so you're okay. And we do that a lot. We've been doing that since the beginning.
Yeah.
We've been like inseparable since that first date also, guys. We have not.
Yeah.
you know, we just been inseparable.
It's real. You know, it's real. It's a feeling that I've never experienced ever in life, ever. You know what I mean? Ever. She's amazing. You know, she's amazing. So you know, it's gonna be long. I want to grow old with her. You know, just like for real. Either she burying me or I'm burying her. Like that's literally how long we gonna be together. One of us gonna bury each other. So it's just like, hey, I'm here for the long haul.
Thank you so much for tuning in to how we met, and we hope that you're on the journey for our long ride because we have a lot more videos coming for you. Follow the Foundry Music. Did I say it correctly?
Mm-hmm.
The Foundry Music on Instagram. And then I'm Ashton, ASHDYN _unique. And then he is Knock for Music.
Yep.
Literally Knock for music.
F-O-R.
Yes, for music. All right, guys. See you soon. Peace.
Peace.